Right, so I'm streaming Fallout London again. Alright, not a Russian spy. Yeah, so streaming Fallout London again. Right, since I last played Fallout London, I've played quite a bit of it, and because I looked into it and the actual main story in this is really, really long, I won't stream all of the main story bits when I stream it. I'll just, whenever I'm streaming Fallout London, I'll just stream what I want in it now, because I didn't realise the huge scale of this mod when I started it. Yeah, I've restated it is. But anyway, yeah, yesterday, the good thing was, there weren't any, like, massive idiots for the most part that set anything on fire or looted anything. I think there was a few small scale things, and there were lots of, like, left-wing, apparently, like, agitator-type people that were doing stuff. But the good news was, at least yesterday, like, nothing really bad happened. But yeah, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be any riots, you know, not coming up again if there's another thing that sets people off. But at least yesterday, the day they were all hyping up as the day loads of people were coming out, it turns out a lot of that was just overhyped, really. I don't really PM people, in all honesty, not on sort of, you know, stuff like this, because I've just got too much to do. Right, anyway, I'm on one of the quests here, so I need to find some mystery meat dog food. I've actually got it attached to the thing. Except some miscellaneous. Do I only have to bring one, or is it multiples? But I kind of want to see. I don't think they're very rare. If that's they're cool masks, but I think that's just the Swedish one, isn't it? But yeah, so I've got all the textures that weren't working before working in this. So what I did is, I could probably have fixed it another way, but I bought this game via GOG, because GOG are doing a really nice thing where they're actually, you know, letting this free mod actually have a, like, you know, download platform and everything on GOG. I bought the Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition, although I had all the DLCs individually from the Steam version. But the GOG version anyway, I bought because it was only 14 quid at the moment, so £14. And with the Fallout 4 version on GOG, it doesn't have that stupid Bethesda patch. So you don't have to then rewind Fallout 4 using, alright Jericho, using that depatcher thing like you have to do with the Steam version like I did. So anyway, I reinstalled Fallout London and kept my save game, and put back a couple of like needed mods, but now all the textures that weren't working are like completely working, because it obviously installs it easier, I guess. Is this guy going to talk to me again? I'm asking for some free dog food. No. Never mind, I'll just have to find some dog food elsewhere. I only can get the mystery meat dog food. Afraid not. I mean, I don't like doing videos like that, but yeah, I had a hell of a job to get mine in, and I just don't want to do it again, in all honesty, I'm afraid. But yeah, cheek filters are not fun to get in, and yeah, the M17 isn't the worst of the cheek filter masks to get them in, but it's certainly still not fun. Yeah, like I said, I actually already had it installed on Steam, and like I said, but it was just because there was a few other like little bits messing about, and like I said, I don't mind giving money to GOG, because like I said, it was still way cheaper than the Steam version I owned anyway, for the, you know, Game of the Year edition. But the thing I liked about it as well is the fact that you can just completely, you know, install it without any issues, and that seems to have fixed all the texture issues. So yeah, where I kept saying, oh, they must be placeholder things of some of the flags and that, they weren't. It was just, for whatever reason, some of the textures from Fallout London didn't overwrite, I guess, when I did the Steam install, the Fallout 4 base textures. But the weird thing is, it did install loads of textures, so I don't know why some overwrit and some didn't, but whatever. So yeah, this is going to be something about the mystery meat thing, isn't it? I imagine it's some horrible basement in this factory, but I haven't got the key card for it at the moment. I need to find wherever the key card is. Oh, I don't have to, but obviously I might as well take these. But pork, gravy, liver. I don't want those. I want the one that's mystery meat in quotation marks. Now it's still cool though. If you got one. Trying to see if there's any bits of the factory floor I've not really looked at before then. Just in case there's anything interesting, you know.
I'm sure we'll find a use for that sometime.
Yeah, for some reason it's not classed as stealing me taking all that stuff, so I'm doing it. I do actually like this kind of physics on those as well. That's kind of surprising for Gamebryo engine. Alright, I don't know sodium chloride. So yeah, for the people that didn't hear when I was saying at the very start of the stream, the good thing was there were no real riots yesterday at all, actually. But again, it seems like a big media hyping it up thing. Because, but like I said, it still seems to be, I think, one of those things where there's going to be a case of, you know, like the media was hyping up a particular date. But I reckon there's still going to be, because lots of people are obviously still really angry about various things. And again, if you were somebody that did want to go out and cause trouble, if you knew there was a night when they had lots of police on standby, you'd probably wait, wouldn't you, to do it another night when the police are busy. Oh, it's still very cool though, yeah. Yeah, I think mine's an M17A2 if I remember right, isn't it? Or have I got an A1? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's probably A2 I've got. Right, is there a desk? Not a desk. Of course there's a desk, because it's there. That, but that's not a computer I can hack into for whatever reason. Yeah. I don't know if there's any unique dialogue with any of these guys that might give me a hint about the key card. And it might not even be something I can get at the moment in the game. It might be one of those things I have to do later on.
Yes? Hi, how are you?
Huh? Yeah?
That doesn't talk. That's still very cool, not a Russian spy. Yeah, exactly, I don't know, sodium chloride, it's like, that's what I was like saying yesterday, is that, you know, nobody wanted riots, but it's the fact, like, how, like, the media, or, like, a lot of the media, as well as, like, the Prime Minister, were like, oh, it's the right wing doing everything, it's the right wing, like, look, the right wing are gonna do something, and it's like, no, you're just completely, like, inflaming a situation. It's like, again, it's no wonder somebody tried to shoot Trump if the media constantly, you know, kept saying, like, oh, Trump's evil, Trump's the devil, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Let's finish up soon. I don't feel great in here.
Stay safe, civilian. These are dark times.
I'm not fucking eating dog food. If you're brave enough to eat this shit, go ahead. I even left you a spoon, dig in. Okay. Cat. Cat flavoured dog food. Chicken, gravy, lamb, liver, meat jelly. I want the mystery meat.
Gap and all that.
Can't take that sign.
How can I help you?
I mean, I don't know how long it takes her to respawn,
Take a look.
the mystery meat ones back in. Anyway, let's sell her back all the dog food I got for free that I don't need, because it's not the mystery meat ones I want.
Farewell.
It's just things. Yeah, so... The only thing is, I wonder if I can pickpocket that manager guy up there. Why is that combat type music playing, or is that just part of the ambient music?
Yeah?
Oh, there's another terminal. Let's have a look at this one. I think these are the exact same message as the last ones, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, they are. I kept thinking then that was an actual, oh, no it's not. What mask is my character wearing? It's the unique gas mask you get in the game that's the actually only functioning gas mask. Because all the other masks in the game are ones that are, they don't work in like the actual gas areas, that's why they're all called like broken whatever gas mask. So when I'm in combat, this one's quite cool because it has like a visor that goes up and down on it.
Huh?
So yeah, when you're not in combat with this gas mask, the visor's meant to be down, then when you go into VATS and whatever you shoot it, you'll see like the visor flip up and that. It's quite cool. So yeah, it's meant to be obviously, don't know how you can see that there, like it's got the like the nose cup obviously around your nose, and that doesn't look quite airtight, does it, looking at that, but whatever. That's probably the best they can do in Fallout. But so yeah, it's meant to be like obviously an oral nasal cup thing there, a bit like a half face mask, and then I guess it's meant to be when you're in a gas situation or whatever, the visor goes down as well to make it like a panoramic. Speaking of gas masks, I've got a few more on order because I suddenly found a load that were actually quite cheap on eBay I didn't have. I won't say what models they are until they come, because I also can't remember. They're not, like, I think at least 2 of them were Scott masks, and I can't remember which the other one was, but they're like kind of civilian ones, I think, based on military ones, if that makes sense, you know, where like Scott, like a lot of other companies, does the thing where they've done master military contracts, and then they've done like lots of various sort of civilian similar ones. That would be cool, not a Russian spy. Right, is this the same stuff on this terminal as all the others? Yep. Right. I want to see if I can either... Ah, there is a safe here. Steal from novice. Okay, yeah, here we go. That's what I want, the basement access. Right. I might as well take everything.
Junk. Lovely.
Alright, so yeah, there was a safe, I was just not spotting it because it was in that particular bit of the desk. Right. Is it down here somewhere, the basement? Yeah, here we go. Oh, this requires the underground. Oh yeah, it's just one of those weird doors, right? Right, let's save and see what's in the basement.
Going up.
Oh, going up. I thought we were going to the basement. Oh, do they not even care I'm down here? Okay, never mind then. Oh, and they've got all the mystery meat ones down here, have they? Ah, very good. Right. Might as well talk to that guy while I'm down here. But I don't know if it's because I've done the previous quest for the dog food company, they don't actually care I'm down here. Oh, more mystery meat. Yes, please. So... Oh, that flag's still American. Okay, so that one's still broken. So yeah, some textures are still broken at the moment. Expert. Oh yeah, it is people, look. Yep, so the chum dog food literally is people. Why am I not surprised? Well, that's what you'd expect, wouldn't you, in something like this. So yeah, they get the people in, look in the barrels. You gotta tell them, mystery meat is people. He'd be a bit mad I've taken all this stuff, but whatever.
Going up.
Now we are actually going up this time, so yeah. Right, there we go. There's a mod that supposedly makes the load times a bit faster in this as well, so I might, obviously it won't be today, but I might try and find a copy of that at some point and install it.
Business here?
Yes, it was after the human dog food. I know the one you mean, yeah, it might be a GM17. I think the Austrians, if I remember right, also had, like, Austro-Hungary also had a very, very similar mast to the GM17. If you see them by... Oh, sorry, CM4000s. I thought you were going to say see them by the 1000, but yeah. You can get pretty good replicas, I think, of the GM17, because that's obviously what they use in a lot of World War I films, and even some World War II films, and, you know, like for reenactors and that. But yeah, like the problem of obviously getting actual World War I masks is you have to make sure it's a genuine thing, and then you have to keep it in very good condition, because obviously the materials aren't going to hold up well to the elements and, you know, like age. So you ought to really have it in a climate controlled sort of thing. It's annoying because the marker keeps telling you to go to this pen ponds place, but this is kind of like the opposite way you want to be to get them. Wrong side of the lake, aren't you? That's the problem. Ah, that's a shame. I suppose it does depend on the reproductions, doesn't it? Because I'm sure there's probably more than one company that makes them.
Are you back with Shelley's dinner? You are the embodiment of virtue, my friend. I assure you we are both very grateful. As promised, here is the reward you deserve for your valiant service.
Yeah, no wonder that little Maya Lurk likes that particular brand of dog food if it's made from people. Right, okay, so where shall I go on the map now? Alright, I wanna, if I've got any junk, drop it off at one of my things over here. yeah, the Biggin Hill Airport. So I just started a settlement there because I unlocked that a while ago, and I just remembered to start bringing like stuff over to it to actually, you know, use. Oh, I sort of see what you mean. What, like they're too heavy kind of thing. So they end up sort of, yeah, like where the longer you're wearing it, I guess, the more it pulls away from your eyes or whatever, or like sort of droops down. Yeah, which direction is it from my little shack's over there, isn't it? Set up a load of turrets up there already to work as the base defense mechanic for it. Right, transfer, deposit all my junk there. I think, the mod I got for dirty water works, so that's good. So if you have any kind of bottles, I need to remember this now, if I need dirty water, you can just create dirty water at the stations, because yeah, there's this annoying thing in Fallout, where if I'm playing in survival mode, you can actually collect dirty water from, like, streams and things like that using bottles, but it doesn't let you do it in the non-survival mode, which is just really stupid. Can you own it? Moss in Nagant in 7.62 by whatever it is, you know, the Soviet caliber one, if that's the one I'm thinking of. I don't know Moss in Nagant Soviet, but like the 7.62 by 55R or whatever it is, if that's what the right round I'm thinking of. I can't remember its dimensions now. But that one, you can, but in that caliber it would have to be on a rifle license, so a Section 1 firearms license, so for a bolt action rifle. If there are Nagants, I don't know if there's older versions of Nagant that use like an older cartridge, because if there's an obsolete one, then it will be obsolete gun with no license required. 54R, that's the one, yeah. But yeah, if it's 7.62 by 54R and bolt action, it'd have to be a Section 1. But if it was, like saying, if it's an older thing, like where I've got the Swiss Schmidt-Rubin, because that's the precursor of 7.5 by 55 Swiss. That one is really easy. You can own that without any sorts of licensing, because the ammo is considered basically impossible to find, even though, you know, technically it isn't. But it's just one of those things where it's the law is on it like that. It's just classed like that for the guns, where, you know, it's basically hard, I guess, to buy in a load of ammo pre-made. But yeah, with this settlement, not much point doing much here until I get more people to it. Yeah, the crag is really cool, but I've never actually seen a crag. Oh no, I tell you what, I did see a crag for sale, and it was very expensive once. Yeah, if it's a crag that's in a caliber that's obsolete, you can buy one without any licensing or anything like that. But then again, like you said, you'd have to basically, to shoot it, you'd have to be able to source the ammunition for it, and all stuff like that. If it was in one of the common calibers, it'd have to be on Section 1 rifle license. But again, like I've said before in streams, if it's an obsolete caliber, it can legally be fired on a gun range and that, with like manufactured ammunition, but again, it's a whole can of worms, I don't want to even start going into it. But yeah, if it's made on an industrial scale, whatever caliber it's in, then no, you can't have that on an obsolete caliber thing. It would be a Section 1. Because the whole point of the obsolete caliber ones are the ones where the ammunition isn't made anymore. Or if it's made so on such a small batch scale that, you know, it's not and easily, findable ammo. Because the whole point of like the Section 1 guns, for example, is the fact that the ammo for those are sometimes the type of thing where you'd find the ammo in somebody's house, they wouldn't even be aware they've had it. Where back in the day, people would have bought loads of the common calibers when guns were a lot more, acceptable over here, if you want to use it that way, before we had all the bans and shit on them. So, yeah, if that makes sense. That's why everything sort of changed with them, is that the ones that then were the ones where people might have, the ammunition already for them, or that, they could get it very easily. The Kakano isn't on the obsolete caliber list. I checked because I've got a deactivated Kakano, and I wondered if I could get an obsolete, on obsolete, but no. Kakano is, the ammo is still too easily available. Yeah, the thing I do find interesting though, Jericho, with the design on the Krag is the fact it can actually feed from a belt, which is kind of interesting. Because, yeah, I mean, whether or not the bout would eventually start, you'd need some sort of, I guess, disintegrating links kind of type thing for it. But yeah, I have seen people feeding them through with bouts before, because obviously that, like, side-loading hopper lets a bout go into the side of it. We could do that other side quest thing quite well. And pop thing. It wasn't that long before World War One though they used the Krag, but the Krag was used in a lot of other countries. Because the thing is with the Krag is lots of European countries used it, because it was, is it Norwegian or Swedish? I can't remember the Krag. But it was like, it was a pretty good export gun for whichever company made it. But like I was saying, with the Krag, there's lots of different variants of it, because basically whichever country, yeah, it definitely did, yeah, because it's the bolt action in that, isn't it? Although I prefer the Kakano just because of its fire rate and everything in the game. But, yeah, the Krag, I think it just completely depended on which country it was being exported to, if that makes sense. Whereas, so like, say, I know Germany had the Mauser, but say if Germany bought the Krags on mass, say, ordered them in whatever the Mauser's, caliber was, and say Britain ordered them, we'd have ordered them in 303. It's that kind of thing where, as long as you were buying in big scale, they basically made them in the right barrel sort of size and everything you wanted. Do need to at some point find that like faster loading times mod. So the snap, crackle and pop recipe. Well, not snap, crackle and pop, just crackle and pop. But yeah, so before I got partway through that quest, because my perception wasn't high enough, the guy wouldn't whatever skill it was, the guy wouldn't do the next bit of the quest for me. I'm sure I could have like killed him or whatever and done it that way, but I thought I'd just come back to it when I've got the skill check to do the thing.
China. I'm Lawrence. Are you looking for something of the pharmaceutical persuasion? If so, look no further. I have Dexy strong enough to keep you up until next Tuesday. I'm guessing Sybil. Well, I'm sorry to inform you. No. I'm all for a good... Suit
Okay,
yourself.
yeah. I don't think that's...
First, you need Bliss. Look for Randall over by the cages. He should have some. Charlotte may have Wonderland. She's been known to dabble. And finally, you'll need 3 ears of corn. Stop by Marley's farm for that.
Alright, cool. Yeah, so it didn't matter anyway, because I didn't see the perception thing pop up like I saw before, but... Assuming she's talking about the shops over in Trafalgar Square.
Morning.
I don't know what any of these people sell yet, because I haven't actually bothered going over yet.
Step right up. Take a look. Take a look.
Does she just sell whatever? Let's get all rid of my 280 rounds, because I don't need those. 45, I haven't got anything that shoots 45 yet, or I don't have a Webley again at the moment, so no need for that. So anyway, does she have anything I need? Or anything of use? I'll buy the bobby pins, because they're useful, because I'll break those. I'll buy all the things with things on there. And then do I have anything useful to get rid of for her to bring my cost down a bit? That'll do. That wasn't the stuff I meant to be buying for the quest anyway. Yeah, over here it's still been quite warm. Although we had the weird thing this year where like the summer felt really late coming in the UK, as in like it was still cold and wet, like, you know, later than it normally is. And then all of a sudden, you know, we had you know, a little bit of a mini heat wave for a bit. But again, in Britain it's rainy and wet most of the time anyway, so... Did you say see
And
something?
what do you want? Bye-bye.
Can't remember whose names of people he said it to me as well. Unless he was meant a different market than this one. But see, that's saying Boston again. So a load of the textures are fixed, but there are some that still seem to be a bit broken. But maybe that is just something that's coming in a patch at some point. Maybe it isn't this sort of place, and maybe it's meant to be somewhere else I'm going. Oh, is that a pub marker that's coming up? Because there'll be a coaster I should hopefully be able to find in that pub. And the coasters give you a permanent, like, stat boost. See, lots of those are definitely the textures that weren't showing up before. So lots of textures definitely are working now. But yeah, there's obviously, maybe there are just a couple of textures they forgot to do. That would be my only guess, if they're especially ones that aren't used that often. People probably, when they were playtesting it, didn't spot them as much. Yeah, so it means like you'll get really hot days, doesn't it, and you'll get really cold nights, like same as the desert, that unless you've got lots of trees and whatever to essentially trap the air pockets or whatever, it, yeah, builds up lots of heat and then, yeah, it gets really cold. But today it's just been sort of drizzly here, but where's that pub sign? I'm just more still over there. I suppose it's because I've boosted my perception quite a few times and I've leveled up. I see these symbols from a lot further away now.
Get them, sidekick.
Let's get the Enfield out. Why not? A bit of a waste of a shot on that one. But... oh, that wasn't in. Got more on down there. Oh, another Molotov, great. Oh, that's that guy right there. Okay. I've not got the AP to yeah. Any of them left? Oh. Okay, so when I was using the Lee Enfield, lots of them surviving multiple shots. As soon as I pulled this Chinese pistol out, like the 9mm or whatever. Legendary hooligan, I think, right with the Enfield for him then.
Getting all the devil, sidekick. There's trouble about.
Stick your head back up so I can finish you off.
I swear I saw something. Oh well.
There was something I spilled the other day that was really annoying. I can't remember what it was now, but it was like one of those things where it was like, don't spill it, don't spill it, don't spill it. I got it literally where I wanted to put it down, and I think it was just something else knocking like whatever I had in the cup or whatever, where I suddenly spilled it. I was like, shit. Right. So, was it this way? Yeah, the guy was it? Oh, you can actually see me here, can I? Close enough into aggro.
Hey, listen. I owe you an apology.
Why? I'm trying. We're sort of in the middle of combat.
It's about your past. What you told me about waking up in a vat. I always thought it was some sort of joke. Maybe even a ruse to trick me. I never took you seriously.
Yeah, but we're in the middle of a road
So
with people
long
maybe
I've
shooting
been
us.
holding back. Holding suspicions. But then that lady at the museum said that's exactly what happened. And I realized you've been honest with me this whole time.
What lady at what museum?
I'm sorry. I never believed you before. You've been so open with me and so accepting of me. And here I was, never truly trusting you. Keep your eyes open.
I'd like to know what lady at what museum this is, because maybe it thinks I'm further in the story than I am with that bit of dialogue or whatever, but I haven't been to a museum yet, I don't think. No, not one that's... So I think there's a bit where it says I'm meant to be getting to, oh, what was it? The, Natural History Museum, was it? But I haven't done that yet. Yeah, I mean, even old expired filters, well, if they're not too old expired filters, but work fairly well against the less serious things. Because, you know, they don't actually essentially have to work as hard to filter them, I guess is the logic of it. But, right, there he is. Right. That's it. Legendary item dropped. Sentinel's pipe wrench. Oh great, an item I'm not going to use, I'll just sell it. Take 50% less damage while standing and not moving. With melee weapons you tend to be moving anyway, so that's kind of the worst melee weapon I've seen so far, but whatever. I know they're kind of like an RNG thing with those. The most useful weapon, like specific one I've found so far, is this Lee Enfield I've got. Because it's got the bottomless mag thing, or whatever you want to call it. 25% poison resistance. Again, I like the ones that give you stat boosts that are kind of like to a perk or whatever. Alright, Regiv. Don't post shit like that, not a Russian spy. I won't ban you, but I'll give you a timeout. Do it again and I'll ban you. Because, yeah, don't. Even if you were joking, I don't know if you're joking or not, but yeah, let's not do stuff like that on the stream, please. Yeah, right, Regiv? Yeah, so it was pretty good, wasn't it, yesterday? That it was nowhere near as bad as they thought. Although, again, there was still the problem of, I think where the media had been hyping lots of it up, I think there were still people out looking for a fight, weren't there, in places and stuff like that, but compared to what it could have been like. But the thing that worries me about a lot of it, I was saying to a few people, is that if you were going out to commit trouble, you'd probably not do it, would you, on the day that all the police would be immobilised? Where, you know, if somebody's still planning on doing some of this stuff, they'll probably give it a few days or a week or whatever. And if people are still angry about something and it's like a spontaneous riot, if the government doesn't fix any of the things that are making people angry, they might still do it anyway. But yeah, I'm glad the Nightmare Doomsday riot that was predicted ended up just being like a lot of media overhyping it. Because it came out today as well, apparently, that a lot of the supposed list they had was actually just one person's list. So it's kind of like saying, oh, some random loony wrote a list up and we believed it. The only bits I saw, one bit rich in one place, there was one bit rich, I don't know where it was, it looks a bit like London, but it could have been any places with a sort of inner city canal bits of lots of built up buildings, where there was some bins being set on fire, and that was literally about it, just some wheelie bins, so you know, nothing major. And then I think they had some issues in both Sheffield and was it in Croydon, where they had like one of those Muslim patrol type groups again running around with machetes, you know, causing issues. Yeah, that might have been Croydon later on, because I did see that there was like a little bit of looting and just shit being chucked about. But yeah, Sheffield had like some Muslims chasing after the police. So I hope 2-tier Kia makes them give them the full force of the law, you know. Because again, this is the thing. If anybody does it, regardless of like their race, you know, race, religion, whatever, skin colour, if they get the same sentences for doing the same shit, you know, that's alright. But it's again, like I'm saying, if they start deciding certain groups get lesser or more sentences because of, you know, the politics interfering with it, because that's when it's going to make people more angry if the laws seem to be not evenly applied. So, I forgot the projectile just still quite strong. And did you see a Labour MP is not an MP, sorry, like a Labour councillor has been suspended? Because I can't remember where it was in London, but he was like, you know, given the microphone to do a talk, basically. And he said about cutting the throats of like racist people. David, I am still, I think, in what's considered Act 1 as far as I'm aware, because I'm not going to bother streaming all of the story now in this. Because I realise just how big the game is the more I play it. British Museum. Because I've, you know, been now realising just the scale of the game, I'm like, it's going to be impossible for me to, you know, a bit like The Long Dark, that ends up being so big that, I'm just going to be streaming this forever if I, you know, only try and ever complete it during the streams. But at least it's good if Labour's actually instantly suspended him, you know. Because what would annoy me if Labour said, oh, we have to look into it or whatever, because that's what really annoys me a lot, the political parties. Like, you know, as in, if the video's out there and they can literally see the video and you can understand well enough the context from that one video. Ah, very cool. I've been there a couple of times, Rajiv, but not that recently, sadly.
Hello, and welcome to the British Museum. My name is Terry.
I'm going to try and remember as soon as I end the stream as well, Rajiv, to try and have a look for you on Facebook.
But before you begin, a word of warning. If you perchance have wandered into these hallowed halls in search of treasure to loot, go right ahead. I have disabled all of our security systems and encourage you to saunter through each and every corridor without a care in the world.
Alright, Content Nexus, yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Straight towards our atrium, for there are no traps of any kind awaiting your presence. Have a wonderful day here at the British Museum.
Yeah, no, that's like the thing, there's a couple of places like I'm familiar with, and there's like really famous bits, but like, you know, like not necessarily in Fallout London, like where you see various things in like films and that, and it's kind of one of those things where, like, even if you work somewhere and like commuted somewhere, you sometimes get more familiar with the routes you'd like drive in and whatever, you know, and park and then get to work from, and some of the more famousy bits, if that makes sense. But yeah, the good news is for the people that didn't hear, the rioting yesterday turned out to be nowhere near what they were expecting. There were still obviously some idiots that did shit, but it turns out a lot of it was the media basically trying to stir some shit up, I think, by the sound of it, which again is really irresponsible. And again, there was somebody else saying, I can't remember who it was, that they were saying, if you know, like people, if we say go online and, you know, theoretically said something that would stir up hate and division, whatever they're saying, you know, or encourage people to riot, or whatever, you know, if we did it, and then we're gonna get, you know, the law thrown at us, fair enough, but then the media shouldn't be allowed to do stuff like that. Again, watch my stream yesterday, if you like, not a Russian spy, but I'm not going to go all over all of the stuff over again today, because the stream was long enough trying to explain that yesterday, and it's a big, long, complicated thing, basically, and the problem is that the people who try and then make it like a 5-minute little, oh, it's all about this thing, is when it gets really dodgy, because it's, you know, not really explaining what's going on. The easiest way of explaining it is it's a clusterfuck of basically various groups that don't like each other, plus the government antagonising some people, being set off, and then, you know, the idiots that do a lot of the damage, you know, then stir up other idiots, and then, like I was saying, for me, a lot of it, I would say, obviously the people that are rioting and actually doing stuff are the main villains, obviously, because they're the criminals, but, like I said, anybody in the media or, like, whatever, on Twitter, like, you know, more famous people that get a lot of followings, that just randomly blurt stuff out that isn't even factually true, they're riling people up.
I'm missing that particular data point. Must be some sort of corrosion from my inner memory systems. Let's just say this is historical. Your base even I never had quite the strenuous relationship.
Right, I'm going to see if I can I'll carry on chatting in a sec, because the Protectrons are actually quite scary in this mod, because they're meant to be like obviously ones we imported from America or something, rather than being like the shoddy, like, you know, slightly shoddy like British built equivalent or whatever. Yeah, straw that broke the camel's back, Rich, exactly as a good way to explain some of that stuff. Because, yeah, there was even something today where Keir Starmer was asked a thing by a journalist, I can't remember what it was, and then he dodged a question even though he answered all the others. So again, it seemed like one of those things of, you know, like, why is there one particular subject you don't want to talk about? I don't want to say what it was because I can't remember all the bits. Oh. Oh, it's Sutton Hoo. I definitely remember Sutton Hoo. Oh, it's a unique helmet. Awesome. Oh, it's only got 5 damage resistance though, but I want it.
I am so happy to see you smear this delicately ornate piece of history with your dirty hands.
Yeah, I want Sutton Hoo's helmet though.
Insert your grotesquely misshapen head and bend the ancient craftsmanship of this relic to your vicious will, you mongrel. Oh, goodness. Look at what happened to the scene in the Western Gallery. It's going to take me ages to try and clean this up. Of course, I can't do that while you're still alive. My dear, can you please just die already so I can go back to fixing this place? It would be so helpful.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going a bit longer because, yeah, I've been on it, did the typical thing with today's stream, where when I first went on, you know, it didn't send a notification out, I don't think, to too many people early on. Yeah, useful idiots. Now, there's one conspiracy theory I've heard, which I might mention here, because it's, like I'm saying, I'm going to say it's a conspiracy theory, but it's interesting. And it's kind of an idea that, there's a mine.
You stand before the body of my creator. His name was... Oh, hang on.
I was hoping I could disable that one in time. But yeah, so the conspiracy theory is basically in one of their first Cobra meetings or whatever. Basically that the government in one of the Cobra meetings decided they'd get loads of those, you know, generic hope not hate placards or whatever it was printed, then get somebody to do the thing to tell the media that, you know, they've got this list of all the places the far right are going to turn up, get all the police ready in case some idiots do, and then just have the display of having all the people that you know aren't really going to cause issues turn up, so you can sing Kumbaya and say, look, we've handled it perfectly. Now, that a very cynical person might think that. I'm not saying I necessarily think that, but it's an interesting theory. It might be treason in the US. In the UK, if somebody took down a US flag, it's not treason because this isn't the US. It's like the joke. So an American says to a Russian, or a Soviet Russian, it worked with modern Russia actually, with Putin. So yeah, let's just say with Putin, because I can do this, and I think he's a cunt, so I can do this joke. So we'll say that an American speaking to a Russian, and an American says that we have freedom of speech, because I can stand outside the White House and I can say, down with Joe Biden, and the Russian says, but we also have freedom of speech. I can stand outside the Kremlin and I can say, down with Joe Biden. You see? That's how it works. But yeah, like I'm saying, I'm just saying, I don't know, and I don't want to, you know, even, like, so that's the thing with stuff like that, I don't want to pretend I know it as a fact, because I obviously don't. But it's just an interesting theory I've heard.
I hate that thing. I hate it so much. My creator used to call it what now? I call it absolute treasure. Behold the treasure of war. A bunch of quintessentially ancient artifacts if ever there was.
Oh, is this the Egyptian one?
The epitome of Sumerian style.
Yeah, because this is like where you'd have the, yeah, the mummies in here, wouldn't it? Maybe I do have to break his picture. Oh no, there's a hole in the wall, look. Yeah, this is another thing, I guess, where there's meant to be mummies or whatever in the case. Oh, aren't we not meant to call them mummies now? Because that's another one of those really weird woke things. Where apparently, like they wanted to change it from it being called like mummy or mummified, because then it was like a gender thing or some, you know, it was like one of those really, like, you know, like when there was this weird thing a while ago where they were saying you shouldn't call them gingerbread men, you should call them gingerbread people. No, I didn't hear the joke Stephen Fry said to Zelensky. But again, even in the US, you have the right freedom of speech, don't you? And with the First Amendment, you can burn a US flag if you want to. As far as I'm aware, in US laws, there's nothing stopping people doing that. Oh no, this is the mummy room then, okay. Oh, 80% of the target's damage. That's an interesting looking sten. It's the one with a suppressor on and a nice little Oh, ho, 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 ho. But to be honest, I think you're a bit of a dickhead if you burn anybody's flag. That's my point. Like, for me, it's like, I think you should probably have the right to burn a flag. I just think people are a bit of a dickhead that do it. It's like, you know, I think it should be the same with all the religious books, that I don't think any of them should be treated like, you know, like where it's legal basically to burn a Bible, but it's a very bad idea to burn a Quran. But basically, I don't think it should be illegal to burn any of them, but I don't know why you'd want to insult people on purpose by burning a book. And burning books is stupid unless you were doing it, you know, because you had to survive in the cold, like in the lone dark. Because burning something that's the source of knowledge or entertainment or whatever else, it basically just says, oh, I don't like people getting ideas, I want to try and destroy ideas. Oh, there's another TARDIS there. Because apparently, yeah, there's 15 to find in the game, and it's like, I guess, gives you a load of XP or maybe a buff if you find all of them. Right. Oh. Little tiny thing but causing me pain. I can probably eat something. I might have my inventory and use up some of my useful bits. There we go. I don't know if you posted a joke, if it came through in the chat, unfortunately, but yeah. Yeah, exactly, that's the thing. Like, I think you should be allowed to say horrible things and that. But again, the thing is, I think with most people, if somebody was shouting really horrible, racist, you know, stupid stuff non-stop, most sensible people would think, wow, that person's a bit of a twat, wouldn't they? But again, if you stop them from doing it, as in, like, you know, it's illegal to say it, people think, oh, they must have something to hide by, you know, trying to stop people doing it.
These artifacts tell the tales of civilizations that thrived under the African sun.
Now, one thing I can remember, just to pause him talking in the African bit, in the British Museum, is there was kind of an interesting thing that's like kind of sacrilege to me, but I can understand why it's done. They had one of those like sculptures made out of like all the AKs welded together, and it was done by like, it was like a contemporary bit of art done by some African artist. But, and I get the point, because it's obviously like the AK is a horrible thing in terms of like Africa and, you know, and like lots of other guns that turn up in Africa, you know, and just fuel wars constantly and stuff like that. In that regard, well, obviously it's just because I like guns and being guns, but yeah, it's just when you see them like that, it's like, oh no, those guns could have been sent off to somewhere useful. But I don't mind that they've done it in that sense, because it's like the Knife Angel art piece and all those other things. But yeah.
The
it was quite a newish thing, I think, when I must have last gone to the British Museum. Must have been a few years ago. Oh, feather dress. That looks like something out of Skyrim.
Why did you pick that up? Those feathers do not go well with your whole ensemble.
Oh, here we go, look. Don't leave the gallery without seeing a contemporary Tree of Life, a 2004 sculpture made from decommissioned weapons from Mozambique Civil War. Ah, so it's even mentioned on the bottom of here. So that's what it must have been. Yeah, so, yeah, I was right. That was something in the British Museum. People can't easily move to the US. I don't know if you know this, but US immigration policy is actually a lot more favourable, and again, this is going to sound like, you know, one of these sort of two-tier sort of things. But funnily enough, if you turn up at the US border illegally, kind of under the current stuff, you know, and get into the US illegally, it's a lot easier to get into the US that way, weirdly, than it is in terms of like how much money it costs and everything to buy your way in, or, you know, doing any of the visa schemes and stuff like that. Ah, that's a shame. Roger with that, because I've always known it's been quite expensive to buy stuff from the US, so a lot of the time I didn't.
Put into this room in the last 100 or so years.
That looks like we might shoot lasers or something like that.
Most of the other thieves died several rooms back, but you managed to stay alive despite all of my attempts. I think you deserve a round of applause. Can you stand still for a moment while I find the applause command? Give me more than just a second.
I'll have to see at some point if James Bond turns up, because I've got the mysterious stranger and he's James Bond in this, which is actually really cool. It's Sean Connery. Oh, let's shoot one of them with my massive giant musket. Oh, Legend of Enemies mutated. Shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh good, she's coming back. I won't bother reloading that now if it's still not a one-hit kill against them. Oh, the weapon's jamming, it won't hit. Oh. Right. Let me quickly eat a load of aid, because, that's that one down. Yeah, the way the most people I know that have moved to the US or lived over there at least for long periods seem to have done it. Seems to have been if they have a job where it's like an American company, but they're a worker for an American company. So generally, like, you know, if they have a very specific skill where they've almost been poached to work for an American company. So therefore, because, you know, a US employer, like, you know, wants them over there, and it's not like a minimum wage type job, you know, it's a pretty specialised job, then they're obviously in for that sort of thing. What gun have I got that's just going to be good for putting a lot of lead down range? Oh, yeah, let's just use the 9mm. isn't actually in this room, so although she's speaking, she's not actually doing anything to help me. There we go. Oh, shit. Ow. Alright, at least I have some Radaway, don't I? Oh, I've only got one Radaway left. Okay. Well, I need to get some more at some point. I think I do have those 2 milks still, the magic milks, whatever they're called. Does that legendary eye not drop anything? No. Got nothing useful. I was hoping he'd drop like one of those super useful items.
What a thoroughly creepy place. I love it.
Oh, is this one I can steal the uniform off of? No, it's just a cheapish mannequin one from the museum in Fallout 4.
Ah, Ramesses II, or as I like to call him, Ramesses the really rather
Try to
evil.
keep your lunch down, sidekick.
Because nothing says I'm compensating for something quite like building a gazillion statues of yourself. During my first few years of operation, many of the museum's visitors would stare at this particular piece for hours on end.
What's trouble about it?
I thought it strange that humans would be so fascinated by what amounted to a series of innate scribbles upon their faces. That is when I realized, Dave, that all of humanity's history can be summarized as nothing but endless staring at innate scribbles upon generic stones.
Alright, where am I off to now then? Oh, do I have to steal the Ubar crown to get through to the next room?
Intruder, identify yourself. Cast your eyes over Mustanus, the noble steed of Alexander the Great.
Probably going around the wrong way.
Because nothing says I'm a conqueror quite like riding into battle on a horse named after something sounding like an ST. I suppose it's better than calling it Stubby or Mr. Fluffs, but still.
Is there an override coming? Okay, you got me around to direct you.
Now, the Parthenon Phrase, because who
Come,
needs to know
companion.
this vehicle?
Victory awaits.
Oh, because I shot a statue, I don't put a robot in front of it then.
Now we get back to some decent, honest looting.
Ah, Alexander the Third of Macedon. A man so legendary, gaze upon the lion hunt of Ashurbanipal, where ancient kings showcase their prowess in the art of big game hunting. But imagine this, a twist in the tale, where the hunter becomes the hunted. Picture a scenario where a dedicated machine turns the tables on the unsuspecting museum.
I'm just going to refresh the chat in case nobody's, because maybe I haven't seen any new messages in a bit.
Admiring the ancient scene, suddenly you hear the whirring of gears and the clanking of metal. Before you know it, you're caught in a modern-day lion hunt with 10 hot on your heels.
Yeah, I don't know if it was in yours.
It's a reminder that even in the most serene of museum settings, one should always be prepared for the unexpected.
I think they're burnt out, aren't they, when they do that like black smoke type thing, meaning they're not going to release any more. Yeah, there we go. In Fallout 4 it took me ages to realise you could actually disable those and get some pretty good parts from them. So, you know, there's certain bits where, you know, I kept thinking, oh no, this is, you know, a really hard place to get past, like, the things without setting them off, and then it turns out, there we go.
No response. Mark you down as both mute and incredibly stupid.
I think you get Mysterious Stranger more, don't you, if I get my luck up, so I might keep just putting my luck up, as my next few levels up, just because it'd be quite good getting Sean Connery to turn up more often. Was that something you were saying? Sorry, Rajiv, because I was almost concentrating on not getting shot on some of the bits to actually hear like the jokes these sort of things are saying.
Observe the curious case of the ivory thief caught in a loop. Seriously, you've gone into a loopity-loop. Much like a perplexed creature in the wild, it finds itself trapped in a cycle of frustration. Oh, bother, I unlocked the doors. You must forgive me for the state of this particular atrium. We used to have a staff of cleaning robots. They're all gone.
I remember this room looked quite different when I was last here. It's when they had the wave painting or whatever it was in the original.
Some just shorted out there. They thought it too much of a crash to rearrange.
It's a big ship painting anyway.
Once upon a time, humankind venerated figures like this one. According to my archives, this was thought to be a figure of wealth.
In theory, there's no reason why you can't. I guess you'd have to do two hoses, wouldn't you? Or just somehow seal off one side completely, and then silicon seal a hose into the other one. Ah, yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because it's quite a big room. But yeah, in theory, there's nothing stopping you. But you might, if you can find one though. There is technically there's an M10, because I've got one, rebreather setup type thing you can get. So you might be able to get those and adapt it more easily using one of those. Yeah, that's the problem when I'm doing a bit like this and I'm reading the comments and you know, I'm not really listening to his jokes and the witty things that Mr. Handy's saying.
Keep your eyes open. Can't fool me.
So I know that's one of the things Mike, you know, Weapon Collector, complained about when he used to stream on Twitch a lot. That's why he liked playing certain games first before streaming them. That way nobody in the comments could spoil them. And he could actually play, you know, pay really good attention to what people were saying and that without getting distracted by reading and chatting with people and stuff like that. Right, so what am I meant to be doing in this room? Yeah, the M17 is much better rubber quality. Like, the M10 isn't bad in terms of actual rubber quality and straps, saying that. But yeah, the US M17, it's just in terms of overall build quality, it's kind of hard to explain. Because that's the way I've come from, isn't it, out of that lobby. Is there going to be some... Oh, it's just a big, literally the very big doors. Okay. I thought I was meant to be doing something around the outside bit. Oh. Did Sean manage to get it then? He was glitching out a bit.
Excuse me, dear colossal thorn in my robotic buttocks, but it seems this museum isn't quite big enough for the both of us. I must politely
No, he somehow missed.
either vacate the premises or gracefully attempt to power me down. After all, there's only room for one showstopper here, and I'm afraid I literally need you.
Am I turning back on? Yeah, it is very GLaDOS-y, isn't it? A bit of Holst. I can't actually do anything while it's doing this. Oh, can I? Oh, yeah. Oh, I can just go back that way. I thought I was trapped on that menu until it, like, finished the song. Oh. The Mongol bow is a type of recurve composite. Oh, this looks kind of interesting.
Amazing what they used to make before the war.
Right, let me favourite that bow, so even if I'm not using it now, it doesn't, I don't accidentally sell it or whatever, so that's the ornate bow. Let's bind it to 7. I'll give it a quick test, but I imagine the bow's going to be quite crap compared to, say, I think the bow's going to be quite crap in a sort of game like this compared to the guns, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, again, exactly, yeah, you get everybody to have the same tooling. So again, like having a common ammunition, you know, caliber with the right sort of amount of powder pressure in it, so it works in all the guns it should, is that sort of thing. So yeah, like 40mm for NATO, Stanak, you know. So any of your allies that make the filter, they should be up to the same standards and should all fit on each other's masks. Well, with Czechoslovakia at the time, bear in mind they weren't exactly a rich country. They'd been completely pilfered by Nazi Germany in World War II. And then once that had happened, they were occupied by the Soviet Union and completely pilfered again. And then it was only really like Poland in the 90s that when they were able to become a free economy and actually start trading with who they wanted and whatever, that they started becoming quite industrious again. Yeah, that's cool. I don't mean it's not necessarily powerful, because I know these bows sort of are in reality, because I've got bows like this, and I like archery and stuff like that. But yeah, I was just more on about the fact that, you know, in a game, if enemies are shooting at you with an automatic, I don't think I'd do very well with a bow, but you never know. Is that a post boxer down there, or just a normal post box? Oh no, yeah, it is a post boxer. I don't think I'm going to bother with that bow, but at least for these sort of enemies. Oh, I suppose you do get some of the arrows back though. Let's get the bow back out and see if we can find some humans to test it on. Let's, before I finish the stream, let's go see if the Jacktars are respawned up near the Cutty Sarkin and that sort of area, the naval sort of museum sort of place. So that's there, isn't it? Big Greenwich tunnel. Okay, so yeah. Are they expensive? Not Russian Spy? Do you mean the mask or the gun or what? Because even in the UK you can get M9 still sealed in their metal tins for like £30 to £50. I guess, sadly, the easy way of getting them is buying lots of PMK2s and 3s, but yeah, you don't really want to be doing that, do you, as a way to do it? Yeah, if we convert that into pound sterling, that's what, like £60, which isn't too bad. That's not stupidly expensive. I wonder what this is like in VATs in terms of accuracy. Oh, did I level up at all at any point? Oh, I did. Okay. Let's put luck onto yeah, get my luck up again. Let's deal with this turret first. Right, now that's turrets dealt with, let me try out the actual bows, hopefully on human enemies. It seems to have pretty good accuracy in that, so I suppose you get a lot of shots of it, so...
The enemy is afoot.
In VATs, it actually looks like this would be really good in VATs, just because of its accuracy, so yeah. I suppose this bow is sort of one of those weapons that you probably want to reserve to for VATs, like with humans or something. Oh cool, so yeah, you do have to aim higher than where they are, so it's not just... I can't remember, in Skyrim, do any of the, is there actually any fall off of the arrows in Skyrim, or are they, so I can't remember in Skyrim if you ever had to aim and, like, lead the shots with bows, or if they just, sort of hit scanned onto enemies.
There's trouble about.
Again, if it's got this accuracy in VATs, this seems to be how I want to use it. Yeah, okay, I do like this against people. Alright, Alex, haven't seen you in a while. Oh, still going out.
I'll teach you to trifle with Kira the Invincible.
Yeah, although again, it's the typical video gamey thing, isn't it? Where the bow, for whatever reason, seems to do more damage to people than like lots of high caliber guns do. Not that I mind, but it's nice that there are bows in this as well as other things. So obviously, the Camelot faction in this has I assume a lot of bows, because I've briefly been to the Camelot area of the map, but not done too much over there. Yeah, we'll need to get some more arrows for this bow, though. You can make them at workbenches, if I remember right. There's no arrows in this. Ah, cool. Yeah, because I know in Skyrim it can pin enemies to walls, can't it? But that doesn't really have very good kind of dismember physics in Skyrim. I think you can very occasionally chop people's heads off, can't you? But I think that's like an animation thing with some of the swords, rather than it being kind of a more fluid type thing. Yeah, the enemy can't fight if you disable his hand.
Hey, let me see that. Cool.
What the? Dig it, lads.
Yeah, okay, it's quite fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's quite fun, this bow. It'll take the head of the arrow. Oh, he's stuck on this stair. No, I've finished the British Museum. I turned the robot off like the Wizard of Oz, with just a switch around the back of him when I finally got to the middle. And I've looted a bow, and I'm enjoying using the bow. So I'm at Cutty Sark again now. Just quickly, which is actually where I was on the very first time I streamed this. I just wanted to test the bow out on some human enemies. Oh cool, that one's got an EM too. I know it's not that uncommon now, but it's kind of interesting to see that those enemies are starting to get them now. Oh, it was a really bad shot, that one.
Oh dear. All things to waste ammo on.
Combat rifle. Yep, go 3 round, arrow. It's just a bit looped around the back, isn't it? Yeah, I think. Interesting. Now I'll go through the crack in the wall in a minute so I can get back up to the surface before I end the stream. Pick up those arrows again so I can actually go back to using my bow for a bit, even if I've not got many shots. But yeah, it is good that I can keep reusing the ammo for this. I am very... 5 stim packs, that is actually really useful. I am very tempted to actually start manufacturing arrows for this bow now. As in, I probably wouldn't bother with it against like the robots and the turrets and that, where it doesn't do much, but against people it's quite fun. Well, not really. There are a lot of actual real guns in the UK, include of illegally imported ones. As in, I'm not saying like, oh, I've done something like that. Of course I fucking haven't. I'm not even like jokingly saying I've done that. What I mean by that is that there's been loads of cases when there has been, you know, like big firearms seizures done when there's just been loads of them just brought in illegally, either on boats or by, you know, like people coming into the country illegally and then smuggling guns on them. Because it's kind of insane sometimes if you look at some of the, like, you know, various, like, European countries when they actually have a proper arms raid and they, like, you know, smash an entire gang, you know, and they're all there, like, police raid places at once. Just how many, like, you know, assault rifles, I mean genuine assault rifles, like machine guns, RPGs and shit like that can sometimes be found that, you know, like, is black market stuff. It is a real kind of industry. Oh shit, a turret.
You've messed with the wrong treasure hunter and her trusty sidekick. Aha! Yet another triumph for Kira the Adventurer.
Stand down. If you say so, mate. We're taking the what?
Enemy is afoot. Keep your eyes open.
Ashes. In the estuary.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, I'm actually quite enjoying this because it's, again, like, I like the bows in Skyrim though, even with stuff like, you know, just the stealth, just because I found it more interesting sometimes than just running and mindlessly mashing people with a sword. But yeah, anyway, I want to, finish this so I can go off and get some dinner.
Report to Khan. Red alert.
You hear that?
Oh, he's got his head nailed to a monitor, that's pretty impressive. Oh, it's or her head. That was quite a good little picture. Yeah, like I said, I'm pro civilian ownership of firearms. I just think it should be done in a very sensible way. And again, like I said, I'm not saying the US changes their stuff because the US has a constitutional right to bear arms in their, you know, constitution. As I was just saying, you know, that's part of their constitution. But in countries like ours, I think they should be more lenient than they are, but just done in very sensible ways.
Beat back to quarters, lads. The yellow bastard is 3 sheets to the wind. Dig it, lads.
I'm glad that's over with.
I've won. I've won.
Did that arrow break, or is it still there? I don't think I can pick that one up. But yeah, I'm going to craft some more arrows in my town after this because yeah, it does seem that the arrows are actually pretty good. So I'll go upstairs, don't I? Is that through the cafeteria I go upstairs? Or right, we'll be further back this way. Ah, yeah, there we go.
This one.
anything good I can make in here. Never really bothered with syringe stuff. I don't want to do that. And that master door might have something quite good in that crate down there, so when I get my lock picking high enough, I'll probably pick that door there. Come back for that one. So I'm quite curious what, in an early game area, why there's a master sort of difficulty lock. Oh, feral ghoul. Right, let's see how well it does against ghouls. That's pretty good, yeah. Well, it's a massive societal issue, not just a people issue. Because if you have a country, say, where people can't get any sort of mental health support or whatever, but they can get guns easily, that's always going to end in disaster. Right, anyway, I'll be finishing now, because I'll just go back outside and then that's back in the loop. So thanks for coming on, everybody. And yeah, it's good now that with Fallout London, like I was saying, that most of the textures are fixed by me just buying the good old games version of Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition, and then that way, like I said, there's no like back descaling the game to then install Fallout London, so it seems to work a lot better. And I'm sure the missing textures, I can either, that might be fixed in a patch if it is the game end, or somebody else will just mod them in to fix them. Yep. Have a good afternoon, everybody else. Like I said, I'll just wait till it goes outside so I can pause the game rather than it being on a loading screen, and then I'll end the stream. What's annoying is that the Fallout London combat and like ambient music doesn't seem to be on YouTube yet. I know most of these songs done for the game are on there, but I want this sort of music on YouTube to potentially download to, because I quite like this sort of industrial sounding combat music. Just reminds me a bit of Feinflug, which is a 90s, early 2000s German industrial band I quite like. Hang on, let's get these guys. Or a leech. Yeah, it's good against leeches as well. Now I want to see if there's a texture for horse meat where it actually has a Tesco's box before I go. Because one of the problems with some of the things before, so horse meat. No, that for me still says yum yum, like delivered eggs or whatever it is from the original Fallout 4. Where I've seen some people posting a thing where, you know, they actually had a custom thing, but whether or not that was just a photoshopped image, I don't know. Or again, something that's not. Oh yeah, again the Sharp reference, Simpsons. I have a cousins at Horse Guards and friends at court. A man who loses the king's colour has no friends. Yeah. Right, have a good day, everybody, as said, and I will see everybody. I'll hopefully get a chance to at least do one stream tomorrow before I'm stuck at work all weekend. Right, see you all. Bye.